Okay, we're doing our thing right now. No technical difficulties. Hopefully, this battery doesn't go out from my recorder. But what are we going to talk about today? I want to get back into it. We live right now. What are we going to be talking about? I'll give you this before people start to head out because the topic is not said in the beginning because I'm chit chatting about nothing right now. So, notes. Brewmaster, not Roastmaster. I like that title. Brewmaster, not Roastmaster. Coming up, as some people will say, we're going to be talking about that in the next 5 minutes or so. But I did want to just talk about any updates, any things that we're doing right now. Um, we got that Phantom Power. Dog is it's bizarre. But yeah, we are doing pretty good right now. I'm very extremely happy. Life is going well. With a couple of technical difficulties, but we are just making this work. That's the way we gotta roll. No, man. Okay, come here. Oh, small dog. You see her? If you're watching the video, she here. She's trying to win me over. It won't work. My big dog. It's got my heart. Uh, doing pretty good. Don't bite nothing. I'm gonna try to put you in right here. There we go. But yeah, we got a little housekeeping. Housekeeping. Just updates. Amazon seems to be working. It's moving and grooving. Tried to talk to my representative about a week ago. She says she's really busy, which is just understandable. She works for Amazon, so she better be busy, right? But she helped me put things into perspective. And what it told me was that I need to do my own thing, meaning that I need to push my things forward as I understand my business on the Amazon platform. She did help me yesterday in realizing that there are a couple things that do need to be changed. So we're going to be working on those. So I'll be looking at that later today or tomorrow. And then we're off to the races. We can start doing the Vine, FBA, start getting reviews, and then going from there. So I'll keep you posted. I'm really anxious, kind of looking forward to playing around with Amazon, understanding Amazon, and really perfecting it. I know it's going to take a lot of time, dedication, and all that good stuff, but I know as we go through this struggle at first, we're going to figure it out as we figured out a lot of things. But other than that, that's what we got going with Amazon. YouTube's going fine. No complaints about YouTube. It's one of those things where you have to think about your audience more than you. And I think me putting some of the last material out there that I've done is just going to help me set me up for future greatness. Certain things are not going to get the views that I need to, but I need to realize is that I already have an established business. I already have a business that has a product that I'm selling. So I'm not starting from square one. And the way that I'm trying to develop or trying to build trust in Amazon, I mean, not Amazon, but in people, in me, is to let them know of who I am. It may sound very selfish, as some people will tell you not to do. But the thing about it is that I need to let people know who I am, what I'm about, why I like coffee. And initially, I probably won't get that many views or really at all. But it's an easy way to where I can push people or tell people or give people, that particular video of letting them know who I am, what I care about, why I care about it, and all that good stuff. So that's more so the things that I'm thinking about right now. But I do have a couple videos that are coming out that are really pushing me out my comfort zone, challenging my thinking of coffee. Meaning I do have a video about instant coffee, talking about instant coffee, what I think about it from a roaster's point of view. And that's the beauty of this. I think somebody did a video yesterday and she was talking about instant coffee. And she has her own point of view and I have my own point of view. We may be skewed in certain ways, but it's okay. It's one of those things to where we're giving our opinions, our different takes on things. And that's the thing with coffee. I mean, you can only do so many different things, right? So as you do that, we all are gonna talk about certain similar things and all that. But, and I think my point of view also is extremely cool because it's me. um, but the other reason is because I'm more so like a pour over type of person. And a lot of people out there, they're more espresso first. So that's a different type of audience that's out there compared to what I usually tend to focus on, gravitate to, and all that good stuff, right? So that's more so the situation, and it's pretty cool. And the cool thing about it, which is kind of messed up saying this, but I don't even watch those videos. I try to get inspirations from non-coffee people, which I have so much people that I look into, and get inspiration. Don't get me wrong, I still like research and kind of get an idea of what people may want, but I think I'm in a phase right now of trying to really figure out what I want to do with this whole YouTube thing and how it can help further along my business. So we are currently at 72 subscribers, and it's going really well. I'm consistent, and I'll be starting something new, which I've already put in the pipeline already, which is posting twice a week. I think I'm still contemplating if it's going to be a Monday, Thursday type of situation, but I don't know. And I think on Monday or Sunday, it's going to be the longer post. And then on Thursday, it's going to be like a short, quick tip type of thing. And as I go through this, I think that's going to be the situation that we fall into, like a quick tip, 3 to 4 minutes long, and then a longer thought out post, And then I do have some questions that I do want to start answering. So those are going to be more so like the Thursday type of thing. And again, all these type of posts are like, as they would say, evergreen, like something somebody will always go back to. And I contemplated that for many years, meaning that I always wondered why people were like, oh, do you have a video about that? Do you have a video about that? And I'll just tell them, just search it out. You'll be fine. But the cool thing about that is that there's so much information out there on YouTube. But the bad thing about that is that I didn't say it. So nobody really sees my true opinion, take, advice, approach to it. So that's how it's more critical that I do this in a way to where it does make sense to people who are trying to learn from me. Even if people already know how to do this, it's a good way for me to kind of do something real quick and easy, stretch it out, and then go from there. But the other thing so that's a pretty good, and it's interesting because I think YouTube, especially for content, that's the top of the funnel. And then I work myself down with other material that I'm playing around with, seeing how that works. And I do like the fact that I'm doing like one short out of the video, not picking like 15 of them. So for instance, let's go to Opus Clip real quick. My dashboard. Let's see. Mr. Coffee. We talk about this yet? Okay. So this one right here. Okay. Cool. So I do have a couple of them that I just like look at. And the cool thing about this is that I come back to it later. I'll probably review it that first time. And then I'll probably wait a couple of days, in this case, a week or so to, oh, that's why. Let me, there we go. Bump that up. Use that as light too. About a week or so, I come back and, I'll play around with looking at it with fresh eyes. And that tends to help me pick the right one for the job. And I just post it and go from there. But that's what we got going. I think what I'll do is that I will post that on Monday and go from there. But yeah, if you wanted to know any like things that are being done ahead of time, I probably best to do it come to the podcast because I'll talk about it. So I have the Mr. Coffee experiment that's coming out on Sunday. which is going really well. We'll talk about that a little bit more after I discuss the the videos that I've already done and ready to be scheduled to go out. Just a real quick overview of the Mr. Coffee machine and trying to figure out if we can make tasty specialty type of coffee brewed, right? And then the next one after that is a quick video about instant coffee, my take on that. And I did get one instant coffee like package from Central Market here in Texas. It's like a HEB if you don't know. So yeah, so we did that. So now that we've done that video, and again, it's from a roaster's point of view. So that's, I think that's pretty cool because it's from my point of view, not from a barista or from a coffee nerd, which I guess I am a coffee nerd in my own right. And that's my perspective, and not just any coffee roaster. I mean, coffee roaster. It's I have a different take on roasting and things, engineering background. So that's more so the situation with me, right? And that's how I can be a little different. Videos and concepts and going about it in a way to where it does make sense for people. That's the thing that I'm still like panning out, trying to understand and all that good stuff. And as I get better, everything's going to be better for everybody. And then we have, what is the other thing we have? We have a review on mushroom coffee, coffee mushroom or mushroom coffee. And again, from a roaster's point of view, coffee roaster's point of view, what I think about it, what I don't like about it, and all that stuff. And that's pretty cool. I think eventually I will try to figure out that formula in order to start selling that coffee on Amazon. Not so much on my website, but on Amazon. I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But I talk about what I think about it as honestly, objectively as I can. And then give my opinions, and there we go. That's for not this Sunday, the next Sunday after that. Then I have a couple videos that I've done already that's in the pipeline that I need to put together and edit. And I do like the fact that I'm editing a lot more, like batch editing, not necessarily like doing them like I do one, finish one, do one, finish one, do one, finish one. But I'll do that in the span of a couple days. It's been working out great. It's just because now I have so much material. Not everything is YouTubeable, if that makes sense. But I'm putting in a lot of practice, a lot of reps in the tank in order to get better in front of the camera, be better about communicating my message to people. And it's been going really well. It's still overwhelming because I'm at least talking to the camera, to myself, at least mostly twice a day, which somebody would say, why are you doing that? But again, I'm just trying to get better. That's it. I'm just trying to get better at this. And as I do it more, I feel that I am getting a lot better, and it's becoming a lot more fun. And it's cool to like really communicate myself to the situation, to this process. And then I did tell my cousin, because we help out each other from time to time, that is that I need more content, as ironic as that may sound. So yeah, so that's kind of like the situation that we're dealing with right now and all that good stuff, right? Let me see. Let's go to okay. There we go. Okay. 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 So now we did work with our buddy at ChatGPT on a couple of things too.
I was looking at
Look at that. Yeah, so it does make it a lot easier for me to get the things that I want to from a video. So I do need to produce more videos, more content for people to watch and learn and get educated. But one of the biggest things that I'm doing right now is playing around with this Mr. Coffee machine. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, like really figuring out a device, the pros and the cons and the good things about it and the things I don't like about it. But, truthfully, the things I don't like about it kind of really don't matter because it's going to do the same thing as it should all the time. So, so you have to like work with those constraints, but also try to produce something that will work for majority of the people. And I think I got the recipe down. I do want to check out the temperature of the water before I make the final assessment because I think it's probably a little bit higher than 170, probably 175, 180. But because when I dropped the coffee, when I dropped the water in the vessel, when I tested it, I think it was a little bit higher than what I thought that it was going to be. I think it's 172, 173. But that's at the carafe level. And as you do that at the carafe level, that vessel, the carafe is already cold. So you didn't like heat soak it or anything like that. So it's actually a lot higher, I believe, than what it is. So I do want to do a test of that temperature check. And then I can modify the recipe a little bit, probably playing around with a higher temperature, which will help yield out a better extraction. It's more honest. That's really what it is. It's not that I'm trying to use a recipe that I'm constraining myself even more so. I wish it was higher. We'll see if it actually is higher. We're going to get the temperature at the basket level where the coffee lives. And then I will essentially give us what the brew temperature is. We'll probably increase it by 1 to 2 degrees because again, the actual vessel of the coffee maker is cold and then we're heating it up. So those are the things that we have to take in consideration as we do these experiments and to really understand the things that we're trying to do. So I'm going to do that on camera. And as I do that on camera, that may be a video later. But I'm really just loving like documenting the process and figuring out coffee makers and situations the way they are. Like for instance, I looked at another coffee maker. It's like a bigger one. It's a bun and it does the exact same thing. The flow rate may be probably a little bit slower, but it's the same concept. Right in the middle, a very small shower head. And then at the bottom, literally right at the bottom, probably about 4 to 5 inches below that of the bottom of the basket is the valve that releases the coffee inside of the carafe. So these cheaper coffee makers, they tend to have everything more systematic, a lot easier to like follow and everything. And they only have just like one hole. So I mean, just make it simple. I mean, that's what they're doing. And why wouldn't they? They're trying to sell the product. And as they sell the product, they're trying to give people something easy, convenient to use. So, like I said, this is a lot of fun for me because I'm an engineer by trade and by heart, by fun and everything. And it's cool to kind of like really analyze it and see it from my point of view. So there's a lot of things that I do offer to the coffee world that's unique and different than other people. Even if there's another YouTuber who decided to do YouTube that's into coffee, that's an engineer and has similar type of logics and traits, but we're still going to go about it in a different manner. We look at things differently. And by me presenting myself to the world the way that I do and the amount of that I practice and dedicate it, probably my communication skills and ability to convey the message is a lot better for somebody else to understand. So that's my logic. That's what I'm going with. And we're just in the beginning of all this. So it'll be cool to see how the progression works or looks in the next couple of next couple of years, and seeing how many people I touch through my dedication and love for this craft, for this hobby, this journey that we're all taking together, but also separately. I did get somebody that comment about some of the stuff that I talked about, really about people's love for coffee, and it was cool to get his opinion about that. We'll see if more people come through, but it's enlightening. It's really cool to kind of have that feedback from people, and as we get better and understand what we're trying to do, that's really what it's all about. So let's talk it. Let's get into the topic. I know I've been rambling about nothing really, about something, but nothing. But you get what I'm saying. And the topic is, I'm gonna look at it again. I think we probably got to the point to where it does make sense. Um, Brewmaster, not Roastmaster. I was thinking about this. Same thing. That kind of alluded to it with this whole Mr. Coffee thing. Being an engineer and being a roaster too, and kind of figuring things out. Is that as much as I have been trying to really get better at understanding, perfecting roasting, that's really not the blueprint of success. Don't get me wrong, I do care about roasting. I practice it weekly. I perhaps get different ideas from people from time to time. But the thing about it is that is not the end goal. That's just the starting spot, especially when you're dealing with people. When we do things, we don't work or operate in a vacuum. I'm doing things in a way to where it needs to make sense for others involved too. You know, tell this like there we go. I should have did that earlier, but nobody's gonna watch these. So it is that I used to tell my old bosses is like whenever I do things, they were like, "Why did you do it this way? What happened here?" And I keep telling them I don't do things in a vacuum. I'm not irresponsible. And what I mean by that is that we have to understand that there's an end goal in all of this, right? In anything and everything that we do. And as I roast coffee, I'm not just roasting coffee. I'm not like roasting coffee, grinding it up and throwing it into the grass, calling it a day. That's kind of not the point, right? You do that after you drink it. But what I mean by that is that when you drink coffee, when you roast coffee, the final intent is for somebody to consume it, to use the beans in their brew or coffee maker to enjoy it or not to enjoy it, but hopefully to enjoy it and go on with their day. So the end goal really for the roaster isn't to give the coffee to the person. It's for them to make sure that the coffee tastes good on the majority of the machines out there that person is using. So as much as I care about the craft and the science and the business of coffee roasting, the thing that I should be really focusing on is the science in understanding the way people actually use things. The coffee brewer, that's the connection right there. It's not so much of the roasting machine. It's about meeting that person, being that true middleman of giving somebody a product that they can really enjoy in their coffee machine. So I may give a recipe out. I may give them different parameters. I may give them a scenario of things that they can play around with. At the end of the day, they're going to still do the things that they want to do with that particular coffee, right? But at least they do know that I'm here to guide them, to help them along the journey with the coffee that I didn't produce, that I roasted for this particular application. That's where I'm at. I don't care about any other roasters. They can do whatever the fuck they want to. I'm talking about me. And as I say this, the beauty of this logic or coming to realization is that I am in a place to where I can truly give people the things that will matter to them. A lot of times people are wondering like, how do I actually drink and enjoy this coffee. It's just weird to me sometimes. But truthfully, roasters go about it differently, right? And we tend to just think about the coffee. And it's not about the coffee. It's about, okay. It's about the coffee, but it's not about the coffee the way a roaster looks at it. They're thinking about roast degree. They're thinking about this profile. They're trying to bring out the best in this coffee. That's half of the story. And we lose that quite a bit. What's up, big dog? We lose that disconnect a lot of times when we're just talking about the profiles. We're talking about like this is the turnaround period. What does that really mean? That's really what we're talking about here. How does that equate to a person who's drinking their coffee on a Saturday morning? That coffee roasted that way may be the best for a particular situation. But how can we get it to the point to where we can give it to that person and they enjoy it the way that their coffee maker does it on an automatic machine, a Mr. Coffee machine, on a French press? Let's think about that recipe, because think about it. I've been thinking about this ever since I really started to open up, crack open, figure out how this machine works. And I'm glad that I gave myself that constraint of like not modding it, not changing it up, because other people are not doing that. We're getting back to the roots and the essence of what coffee is to people. So if we understand that coffee, if we understand that person, and then we also understand the possibilities of different recipes that they may be using depending on the machine that they use, that's where we're at. So, for instance, I thought, okay, I'll just give them a basic recipe. Here's a recipe. But if I don't understand that machine and how it really works, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to buy all these machines and all that. No, I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is that if I don't really understand the way these machines work and how this person may be using it, and you just use the worst case scenario of a person, it's like they get the coffee, it's already pre-ground or not. They go ahead, do an extra step of grinding the coffee, put it in the coffee machine. They turn the thing on. Coffee comes out. They drink it either black or they're going to drink it with creamer. That's it. But how do you get there? It's easy for me to say, okay, I'll just give them the coarsest grind possible. That make sense for when I do my pour over, but it probably doesn't make any sense whatsoever when they actually do their stuff, because I didn't understand that machine. I may have understood that person, their logics, their ways of going about their lives, even just talking to them more and more and more. But the thing really that we're trying to get at in the essence of all of this is that we have to understand the machine that they're using. That machine is a part of them. Just like my coffee gear is a part of me. The things that I like about it, the things that I don't like about it, the way that I go about doing my own recipes for my personal cup of coffee each and every day. I understand what that machine does for me. And we don't understand that, then we're losing the game. We're always going to be losing the game. And it goes beyond the money. The money is a tool to where we know that this is a big indicator of us doing the right thing. But if we don't really understand the machines and the things that people are using, and if we just stay in our specialty coffee type of way, then we're fucked. We're screwed. We're not helping somebody out the way that they should be helped. And that's going to be the biggest things that I have to personally go through: the fire, the gauntlet, the woods, the all the analogies that you can think of in order to really give people the things that they want. And the things that they want is heavily dependent on the device that they use. So if we understand that, then we're more closer to being aligned with them. Meaning that, let's say we know the ideal grind setting. And let's just say that person gets whole beans. That's cool. They can. We can still tell them that they should actually grind a lot finer than what they think for that machine, especially using a medium roast to a dark roast coffee. That's more so the situation that we're dealing with right now. That's the part, that's the disconnect. That's the part that we do need to understand. Yes, people are important. We need to understand and enjoy their story. why they got into coffee, what they like about it, and all that stuff. But once we get there, that's just the start. Now we can start talking about the brewer, what they like about the brewer, what they don't like about the brewer. How do they actually drink their coffee? That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. That's why I have to be a brewmaster. I do need to understand, even though I don't give a fuck about the French press, why somebody would use it. What's the best ratios for it? What's the best application for that coffee? Is it a medium roast? Is it a dark roast? Why? Mocha pot too. Mocha pot will work with this, work with that. What's the best grind setting for the mocha pot? Is it coarse? Or do we need to play around a little bit more when somebody tells us like we majority use a mocha pot or we use something else like an AeroPress? We do need to understand that. We do need to understand to the point, well, not we. I need to understand that this is what this person cares about. This is what they're looking at. I need to be a brewmaster. Roastmaster is great, but that's half the story. That's the disconnect. It's about brewing coffee. I need to be the master of brewing coffee. Enough said. That's it. So that's the realization that I came to. That's the thing that is exciting because it's not so much going back to the drawing board. It's more so like, hey, we're figuring this thing out. Let's work with each other. Let's go from there. And then as we go from there, we're going to get better. There's going to be some growing pains, but we are talking about helping people understand the best things that they can do. And I think my logic or understanding of doing things too, of understanding what a typical light roast is, a typical dark roast is, a typical medium roast is, and the nuances of that. That's cool. That's great. How does that help out the person in the way that they actually brew their coffee? That's the part that I've been missing. And I'm glad that I figured it out. Now it's time to actually provide those solutions to the people. And the first thing that I'll be doing is with the Mr. Coffee machine. People may not give a fuck about it or care about it or whatever, but that's what a lot of people are using. I talked about this many times. I probably even talked about it at the last time. I want to end with this. You know, we specialty coffee people, we tend to just look forward. We don't really look back, you know, meaning that we probably don't remember the first time why we fell in love with coffee. You know, we're just on the journey that we're on right now. We get frustrated because certain things are not working out, you know, but we don't look back enough. We don't see what this thing did for us. Like, as much as I bitch and complain about the French press, why I don't like it. What did the French press do for me 12, 13 years ago? It was an introduction. It got me in the ball game. It was quick and easy to make coffee. And then as I moved along away from that, I started to be a part of this camp, this pour over camp or whatnot. But we don't look back enough to just realize like, wow, this is where we come, you know? So I say this, and they're together, but we have to realize we have to give props to, thumbs up to Mr. Coffee Machine and Starbucks. Mr. Coffee Machine was probably the first coffee machine that we've ever actually used, you know, and that's probably, of course, the one that we don't even look towards at all. We've gone past that. We've graduated. We've gotten better. I'm not saying that the Mr. Coffee Machine isn't great. It isn't. But there are things about it that just works for people. Just like as much as I don't like the Keurig, it just works for people. So the thing about it, the thing that I'm trying to say right now is that it played a pivotal point in our coffee journey for majority of us. I'm not just talking about Mr. Coffee Machine. It could be just another machine that's like the Mr. Coffee Machine. That's equally crappy or good in certain spots, whatever. But you know what I'm saying. And as we graduated from the Mr. Coffee Machine, we started to do like the Starbucks things. And then Starbucks was an introduction of a second home, right? Or the third home, as they may say. It got us talking and being with people, enjoying coffee with people, or at least be in the same atmosphere with people. And as we graduated from Starbucks, we started going to these local coffee shops, which is great because now you can get different styles and different people that you want to talk to, different coffees that you can see and drink and love. That's pretty cool. right? Let's not forget these things. And I have to tell myself that a lot. We can't forget the things that got us here. We can't erase that from our history. It's a part of our history. And if we go back and think about the things that we did like about it, they're still there. Even though our palate has matured and gotten better, and we know what we like, what we don't like, and when we see a recipe, we don't groove with it, you know? Let's pay homage to those places. Let's think about those places with a little bit more respect. Let's put some respect on the person's name, on those businesses, on those devices, on those things' names. And when we do that, we have no choice but to continue to get better, and also take the things that we like about those things and see how it can help us still on our journey. So that's what I got for you right now. Little crazy one, I guess, but that's pretty fun. So talk to you later. Bye. Today is July 27th, 2024, Saturday, 8/11. Bye.